Movie review from MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. I'm one of your co-presenters, Stephen John McLaughlin. The other co-presenter is John Christopher Walsh, and our very good friend and special guest and Indian cinema advisor is Ruth. We are here to we're here to talk about 2004 Talapafi VJs Ghilli. Now this was put on a poll thanks to you guys. You voted in your numbers and this was the clear winner. Now this comes in at 2 hours and 40 minutes. It went in like that because it was very entertaining. Yep. We will get into a more in-depth review in a little moment. It's not just, it's entertaining, and this is 8.10 out of 8 out of 10 on IMDb, John. We will obviously get into our own ratings in a little moment, but I'm going to now pass it over to you anyway so you can take us through this review experience.
I will endeavour to bring this up and be very quick with it. This is how we rate our movies. Incidentally, hello, and thank you for being excited for the review. We do appreciate you coming in. A is for perfection. We'll do it opposite this time. I usually do F to A. A is for the most perfect movies ever created. Parasite, Shawshank Redemption. In my case, 96. First A movie rating that I gave to an Indian movie. B -3+ is an excellent movie. A lot of really good movies go in here. Funnily enough, my all-time favourite movie, Cool Hand Luke, slides into here as a B+. We gave the Oscar-winning Best Picture a B+. So that's where those kind of movies go in. C -3+ is a good movie. That's your sort of MCU kind of movies will come in here. Good standard, good watch. D -3+ is average. It's an average watch. It's neither good, it's neither terrible. It resides in that purgatory in between. It's a D -3+. F, finally, is for fanatic level bad movies. The fanatic is John Travolta in his current day form. Terrible, phone it an actor, god awful movies. Phoenix Forgotten, a horrendous found footage movie, resides in there as well. Only the very worst movies will go into an F, and I need not reassure you that no movie from Talapafi VG is going to begin into an F. I can assure you that right now. Look, I went in, I was fundamentally aware that it was one of his early action movies, and look, you've said before, Ruth, that in that time period that it was mostly North Indian movies that were being funded, and I think myself that's probably what's causing a lot of the gloating now from the south of India. And I see it in the comments, even in our comments when we react to stuff. I think it was I can't recall the name, it may have been Triple R. Somebody says Bollywood's dead now and it's never recovering. Yeah. And there was a debate went on. I think it's because now the south of India is getting really a lot of funding in the movies. The standards have shot right up. They're now Hollywood-esque in terms of quality and stuff like that. So I was aware back in those days there wasn't that budget, and they had to make do with what they had, and they're bringing in big names like Talapafi. Even then they made a big name in terms of romantic and stuff like that, and a lot of that budget would have went to actually getting those calibre of actors in, otherwise you wouldn't even watch a movie. So with that in mind, I was aware of that getting in. Look, that didn't bother me too much, the action sequences and stuff like that. I look beyond it into technical stuff and what they're doing with wire works and things like that, and filming it. For me, as we says at the start, you focus on the story, what's going on with the story, and this concept of this young guy going for this immature person, well maybe not immature, just this focused person. All he cared about was kabaddi, going on this journey, pure chance, meeting this young woman, saving her, going head to head with this notorious feared gangster. I thought that was a decent enough story. It had fugitive elements, which is one of my all-time favourite sort of chase action thriller movies. It had elements of that. It had a compelling, funny, comedic, villainous performance from Prakash Raj. So I enjoyed this movie in the main. Talapafi again, absolutely class in the movie. He's this presence, this charismatic figure, and he's got that physical acting at the start that we've seen in the song and dance numbers. Like, is it Sashian? With the young, I think she was like 18, 19 at the time. He's got the belly. He's actually taking the piss out of somebody. Somebody said in the comments, said this sort of back and forth battle where they'd slag each other off in dances, and he's holding the belly. We see it in that. He's kind of physical. He does little physical movements. He looks at the camera, and you're absolutely howling at it. So we've got that at the start. So for me, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was very decent. And ultimately, I'll get to the rating I'm going to give it, but I'm going to let you guys speak and give your thoughts on the movie before I rate it, because I want you to influence me, and that's the kind of person I am. So Stephen, would you like to go before we
Yeah.
Give it to Ruth to end it.
You know, I went in with open eyes with this movie, and I have to admit, you know, I had reservations for the first 10 minutes of the film. So much so, John, I texted you to say, be prepared for some goofiness at the very start of this movie. And then I think maybe after half an hour, I texted you back and went, by the way, this is a really good film.
Because that's the first one I seen.
Yeah, it's really well written,
It's really
and the
well
characters are quite lovable. But yeah, this is a movie I think I'm going to go back to, because it was so layered as well, you know, and I just to go back to and watch Trisha's performance once again, because, you know, you talk about evolution in some of the actors we've already mentioned. The evolution in her, I can see already by comparing it to one of the more recent films that she did in '96, where she was just as prominent as well, I'm blanking on the name. The main guy in '96,
VJ Sefipafi.
Yeah, Sefipafi. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I thought, who's in this movie, by the way? He's playing a cameo.
Movie again. He's in the extra. Couldn't believe it.
And
unreal.
You know, comparing it to that, and then this film, which is one of her earlier ones, where I think in this movie, and it's not doing her a disservice, I felt that she was more the damsel in distress throughout the movie until that very last sort of 5 minutes that you mentioned, Ruth. And when she finally stood up to him, but it made that moment more powerful for me, you know, and that's the thing that really stood out to me for the ending as well. And I think it's just that journey for the two characters, the two main characters, that is, you know, with relationships, with family, you know, and with love as well. It's all handled very well. I felt the actual villain in the movie was more of a side thing. It was more the sort of pursuit of getting these two main characters together and having that a happy ending.
Absolutely. Ruth, have you got any final thoughts on this movie, man? Just maybe your summed up thoughts on everything.
I think generally the success of the film, it worked on many levels. I think the fact that it had a strong villain, in the sense that, you know, he comes off like quite formidable in the start with the, you know, the way they introduce him killing the brother and all that. So that's like a strong villain there to, you know, for him to come toe to toe with. And the fact that it was a sports film, which at the point of time there wasn't any movies that were sports films. And this was, you know, when it came out, it was like unique. So I think that was also one of the reasons it was very, it was so successful. And also, I love the fact that all the characters, with Vijay's character and with Trisha's character especially, you can see there's an arc. And there's also an arc with the father's character as well, you know, in how he views the son in the beginning and how he views the son at the end. You know, so each one you can see that growth in the character from the start to the end. You know, so I thought the fact that there were a few characters whose character grew within the movie actually helped the success of the film also. And I like the fast pace. I love the music. And I love the humor. The humor was very well. I think the dynamic that you have with the family was very well structured, you know, with the mother and the son pitting the father and mother against each other.
And all those little tiny moments,
you know. It's like, you know, the small little jokes here and there, especially when he tells the mother that, oh, okay, with the hiccuping thing, oh, we need to change the house. And then the mother turns around to the father and it's like, oh, do you think we should sell the house? And he say, oh, this is a government quarters. You know, you can't.
I like the way he was playing him off as well about the cousin or the aunt's wedding.
Exactly.
Oh, you fell out with that. It'd be rude for you to go, I'll go. And then he's saying, oh, I don't really want to go. And then he's saying, oh, I don't want to go. And then he's like, yes, I'm going. He's going to play Kabaddi.
Exactly.
There is those little moments.
Yeah. So it's like all those little moments I thought really made the film very enjoyable. And even till today, it's one of those movies I can go back to, and I really loved it because I thought as a story, it was a very well told story. And it was exciting, it was interesting, it was fresh and new, you know, and I think it holds water even till today. As much as you can gripe about some of the technical stuff, as a story itself, I think even till today, people can really appreciate it and understand it and love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen what you says. I'm briefly going to do that before we actually get the rating. That's something I'm actually looking at just now, and I picked up in it earlier in the review. the multi-genre aspect of this movie. It's actually action, drama, romance. I'd say there's thriller elements in there as well, and sport. It is a sports movie at heart, and that's something that's quite different. You've got that multi, and look, we spoke about that before. There's loads of genres in indie movies that the West don't really do. They usually stick to action. I don't know, action, drama, thriller, action, rom-coms. It's quite, in its box. You can't mix these. But that's something I've enjoyed with indie stuff. They do. They'll mix a lot of different elements. Sports, they'll add in romantic stuff. They'll comedy. They'll do drama. What was I going to say before I get to the rating? I couldn't believe it. I was looking at Talapathi's career there. This is a little tangent, by the way, not pertinent at all to Ghilli. This guy's been acting since 1984. Haven't you? They've been about 10 years old in his first couple of movies. Unbelievable.
What is interesting is that when he's acting in this movie, if you see at the beginning of the movie, they put the word Ilaya Talabadi at the beginning of his name, because Ilaya means young, Talabadi.
Young
and then over the years, as he grew, he became just Talabadi. From young Talabadi to...
So it's young general.
To just Talabadi.
Because that's what it means, doesn't it? It means general. That's
young general or young commander or whatever. And then finally he just becomes the commander, that kind of thing. They drop the Ilaya at some point.
Because I love that, because I'm looking at his career, and right up to 1988, he's just called child artist. He's just down as child artist. And then he turns to Talapathi in 1993. Or VJ. And you can see it sort of changing as he goes up. It's sort of the billing on the movie. So I found that interesting. Little tangents. Tangents are alright. Happy little tangents. Ratings of this movie. Who wants to go first, man? As ever, I'm going to go last, because I like to be influenced. Stephen, do you want to go first?
Yeah, mine's is C.
C. Ruth, I'll let you go before I go. What are you rating this, Ruth? Because I've got an idea.
For me, I think it's more of a C+. Yeah.
Well, Ruth,
So
I tell you what,
give it,
you're reading my mind, because I've been on C+ the whole movie. I was going to give it a C, I'm not going to lie, but I'm giving it a C+. I've changed my mind. Just again, when you're speaking about the movie, man, and you're doing the review process, and you just, listen, I've watched it 3 days ago, and I'm thinking about the dynamics of the family, the father, the son, the sister, the mother, the journey goes on, the performances. Yeah, it's a C+ movie for me. It's a good movie. It's at the upper good. It's breaching into excellence. I enjoyed it, man. It was a good movie, and I'm glad again that it was recommended. But we're getting to go further into this guy's career, and seeing different performances, different time periods of performances, and just seeing him evolving as an actor from this romantic sort of figure, a Hugh Grant of India, if you'd like. And look, Hugh Grant's a good actor, man. He's starred in a lot of brilliant movies in the 90s. People still love
movies, and
then he's evolved into this action star. It's almost equivalent, and I can't think anybody else who's done it over here who's been, I don't know, maybe Ryan Reynolds goes from this action, goes to this action hero from
he started
from a romantic.
out with the rom-coms.
He's like the Ryan Reynolds of India. There you go, because I can't think of anybody else who's done it. Leonardo DiCaprio, do you think? He went from rom-com? Yeah, not really. He doesn't do action, more drama. You get what I mean, no, seeing the evolution of this guy and how he's changed his career moving forward. But look, unless anybody's got anything to say, I'm going to round the review up. Stephen, you got anything to say?
No, I'm done.
Well, we're going to round the review up then. That's your review of Ghilli done. What was your thoughts on that movie from all the way back in 2004 when I was about a 15-year-old guy? Those harassing, is that what they call it? Days. When I was about a young teenager. Cycling about, not a care in the world, man. Those were good days. Celtic were a fantastic team by the end. I should start speaking about Celtic, but they really were. That was the best Celtic team I've ever seen. Just reminiscing, nostalgia of that year. What was your thoughts on the movie? What's your thoughts on Talapathi's performance, Trisha Krishnan's performance, Prakash Raj, anybody else in there that caught your fancy? The story, our review in general, what we've been discussing. If you've got anything to say at all, you can comment down below in the comment section and share your thoughts down there. That is what it's there for, and if you feel compelled, that's where you can do it. If you've liked the video, you can also like it. That'd be nice. If you've disliked it, you can also dislike it. Either way, it's going to draw traffic to the video, so we're happy. And you can subscribe to the channel on YouTube and hit the follow button over on Twitch if you want to see more content like this in the future, and you will get it. But look, until then, I'm done. Stephen's done. Ruth's done. We're all done. It's not workable to me. Bye-bye. We need to put an end credit scene on, end credit graphic on that scene. I need to do it. I'll do it for next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.